Good morning, beautiful family. Wow, that froze right away. Um, Fingers crossed when we move. I actually have an internet connection where I can go live. I just quickly wanted to share about an upcoming journey that, I don't know, when it came up, it felt like, oh, what a no-brainer. It should have been there for a very long time. Why haven't I done it before? Good morning. And that is a journey through the 5 elements called Elemental Alchemy. The first one of those will happen in person in Yellingup because I want it to be really experiential and fun. But there will be an online version coming of that soon as well, just like the yogic path. Elemental Alchemy is about Ayurveda Foundations, but more than that. The more I practice Ayurveda, the longer I've been immersed in like the yogic traditions and the Ayurvedic and Vedic traditions altogether, those Eastern ones, the more I realize how inherently shamanic these are, just as much as any other shamanic traditions. In the same sense, Chinese medicine is shamanic. Any earth, nature-based, life force-based modality in medicine is shamanic. And therefore, what's bringing them all together, and they all voice it differently and have different languages for it, is what's called in Ayurveda pancha, maha, bhutas, and that is the 5 great elements. And there's different lingo, there's different perception of all of those. We even have these in the West without specifically naming them. So the 5 great elements, pancha, maha, bhutas, are such a universal and powerful concept that I am wanting to explore more with you, because not only is that the foundational knowledge for manifesting, for fully expanding our mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic well-being, and therefore all other things in life, which are just an extension of our state and our relationship with ourselves, but also it helps us to deepen our relationships and to get a solid understanding of how to create balance in our life and repair dissonance and bring it back into resonance simply through the universal law, such as laws of correspondence, of polarity, of gender, and so forth. They are universal, unmutable, meaning you can not just ignore them or turn them off or replace them by something else. They are freaking universal laws. And this is what the Panchamahabhutas, the 5 great elements, are based on. So within that journey, it'll start here in Yellingup on the 8th of September. But, if you're not in this region, there will be an online version soon. I just really feel called to trial it in person. It'll be a 5-week journey in which we spend a solid 2 hours or more on each element, and not just talking about it, but embodying it through shamanic practices, through shamanic journeys, through experiences where we use food, where we use oils, where we use drinks, where we use examples in nature. I'm still refining that. It's still an intuitive process, but it will be an experiential journey, and that's what's creating alchemy. When we can start to really embody those different elements, because we do have all 5 elements within us, simply in different proportions. Good morning. And they make up our mind-body constitution, or our dosha, our very unique genetic blueprint, right? And again, Ayurveda calls it dosha. Every other modality has a similar thing to that, just in their own language. And it's all based on the synergy of the 5 elements. And again, we all, it's coming through in different lingos, in different modalities and languages and cultures and so forth. But the more we can embody those great forces and understand these, the more we can start to alchemize them and create balance in our life, in our communication, in our, levels of abundance, success, business, did I say relationships, in our health, and in any aspect, through working and using those aspects and qualities of the 5 different elements. So this will be a super fun journey. And so we will spend 1 session each on air, then ether, fire, water, and earth. We'll also be looking at, because again, Ayurveda is my lens, I like to look at how they come together in our unique mind-body constitution, how they constitute the doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. The very airy and windy creative type, the Pitta driven inner fire type, and the Kapha earthy, watery, grounded, solid, stable type. And yeah, it'll be an amazing journey. And I think just so this type of knowledge and this type of understanding and perspective is so what the entire world needs right now, because we are getting so caught up in polarity and left and right and black and white. This is right and this is wrong, and I can't be friends with you because you've said this, or you're choosing that for yourself and your own health. Right? There's so much dissonance going on right now that's very much rooted in ignorance, and ignorance is the lack of understanding and the natural curiosity and compassion we all have when we are in our natural state to understand someone, to see where they're coming from, and to love them unconditionally, to agree to peacefully disagree and still love each other. And this process of embodying those 5 elements, the pancha, maha, bhutas, can really be so helpful in getting to this state of compassion, of dropping back into your heart, back into understanding versus judging, and yeah, create more peaceful and harmonious and compassionate and equal relationships amongst ourselves, each other, around the globe, and within ourselves when it comes to recalibrating our body, mind, and spirit. So that's a journey that's coming up. The first one in person, like I said, that'll be the trial one. I like to do it in person because it gives me a lot more play to explore all that with our 5 senses. Did you know that each of our 5 senses is related to each of the 5 elements, which is related to one of 5 major organ systems as well, and to the different seasons, and to different character traits, and to different parts in the body, and different aspects of the psyche, and it's all coming together in different parts of your lifetime and cycle and so forth. So this is all stuff we're going to be moving into really practically. We'll be looking at the elements through what lifestyle, herbs, diet, taste, self-care, rituals, practices is helping to balance and bring those elements back into, pacify it, bring it back into balance, increase it, and decrease it, and so forth, while experiencing that through our 5 senses. So back to where I started the sentence. This journey in person is starting in Yallingup. It's the last ever journey I'll be facilitating in Yallingup before we move. And there's a lot more new exciting venture, things to come on that venture, but I'll wait to announce that likely in October. But yeah, so last journey here is starting on September 8th, I believe, which is a Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday mornings, 9:30 to about 11:30-ish. It'll be bloody beautiful, limited spots because we're still inside. But if you already know you're interested in this, hit me up and I will send you more details soon as well, and hopefully better quality than this live once again. Anyway, my beautiful light beams, I hope you're having a wonderful, 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 wonderful Friday and start into your weekend. Sending you all lots of love. Thank you for joining. Katrina and Anne-Marie, so beautiful to see you here. Loving you both. Have a wonderful weekend and I see you all very soon.